and
Yeah.
sounds like she wants to make sure people are comfortable.
Well, she believes that if somebody didn't do well at one job, there's probably another job they'd do great at.
Okay, so
And-
don't just send them somewhere else and just see what sticks. Unpack that person to find out
Yes.
what the situation is to try to find a good permanent solution.
Right.
So they just won't keep bouncing from job
Yes,
to job.
her theory is don't throw people away.
Today on the Business Fast Track podcast, I have the pleasure of interviewing a young lady who has been putting people to work all over the country for the past 30 years. Her business is staffing, which is any job opportunity that your company needs filled, any openings that you have. Miss Rhonda Cressman with Snelling Staffing can fill your position. Rhonda, good afternoon. Thank you for being
Yes.
on the podcast with us today.
And thank you so much for having me, Alan.
Yes, ma'am. With the Business Fast Track, we love just having business owners on that have experience in their field, just to shed insight and information that a lot of viewers just may not be aware of. So I thought we'll just get right into it.
Okay.
So tell us about Rhonda Cressman and how did you get involved into the staffing industry?
Well, actually, it kind of happened, I guess my steps was probably guided by just a path that, that's where I was meant to be, and I guess the grace of God, just by answering an ad that I had no idea what it was.
Oh, wow.
Turns out to be a really large, major staffing company where they put me to work as a operations manager slash sales manager in Florence, Alabama.
Okay.
And so from there, just, jumping in and doing my job, I landed a major company there that we had 400 temporary workers a day.
Wow.
This was so massive, and I really didn't know any difference because I thought, well, that's the way it's supposed to be. So I have always been a big projects person because of that. That's
Okay.
what I think you're supposed to do. It grew so massive so quick that we had to add an additional office, and then as it kept on, we had to get another office, which I had 3 offices right there in Florence that we was operating, and one of those turned into being Hispanic, an Hispanic office. And it was just one of the most challenging and most successful ventures of my whole life, which led me to the owners of Snelling reaching out to me to become a franchise owner.
Wow.
And they actually gave me the suggestion of Tupelo, Mississippi,
Really?
even though I was in Florence, Alabama. So,
Why Tupelo?
well, just in the distance of, it's drivable from where I lived.
Okay.
And it was a territory they didn't have, and it's major business in Tupelo.
That's what it was.
And, just you take it back 30 years, and it was really booming. And so that's what we did, and I actually won the Fast Start Award, the largest, fastest growing business in the Snelling system.
Look at you.
That's right. So I brought my hustle of big business, like what I was used to, 400 people a day in one place,
Yeah.
down here, and I just, we just became very, very successful.
How did the Tupelo community receive you during that time?
That I thought might be hard, but as a newcomer, they just wrapped their arms around me, and I did them too. Everybody, all the business leaders and company owners and people like that, and they loved my story of the
Okay.
fact that, I can do this. I want to do this. I've got the ability to work it through and make,
Experience.
the experience to make your problems not seem like problems. So that's kind of how it happened, and we've been doing that ever since.
Wow. So you found a need and met it, but did you see entrepreneurship in your path, or did that just kind of come about unexpectedly?
Well, it did kind of come unexpectedly, because when Snelling Corporate approached me about a franchise, My mother, I say I grew up in the human resource world. My mother has been a human resource manager for like 30 years. So I mean,
Okay.
that was what we did all the time. She and I both are such people. We love people. We love the facts of people being successful, having a career that they can feed their families, and want to be at the job. They love the job. So I went home and talked to her about it, and she said, I want to be a part of that. Let's do this.
So your mom was part of the business?
She's still a part. She's the owner, actually. Yes. She's
How
the
did
owner.
we not know that?
Yeah, she is. Well, she kind of, after so long, she just said, always I have been the manager. No one really knew, but in the background, she was always talking to people, interviewing people, just loving on people when they come through our doors, and making people want to use us to find them jobs and stuff like that. So, and she still does. Weekly, we have conversations on what I'm doing, who I'm new companies who I'm meeting with, the people who we're putting out to work. She's very much
Still involved
in the business.
Still to this day.
To this day,
Wow.
we have conversations every week about it.
So I have always known you and seen you in the community, whether it's a business after hours event or a business networking meeting, and I just assumed you were the head, but you have someone that you report to as well.
Kinda, yeah. I make all decisions and always have.
Okay.
But she just wants to make sure that everybody's treated fair that walks through our doors.
Okay, that part.
And she wants.
That's that HR still at work there because she wants to just see how you feeling, and sounds like she wants to make sure people are comfortable.
Well, she believes that if somebody didn't do well at one job, there's probably another job they'd do great at. So just because somebody maybe got fired or whatever, she wants us to find out and dig into it and find out why.
Okay, so don't just send them somewhere else and just see what sticks. Unpack that person to find out what the situation is, to try to find a good permanent solution.
Right.
So they just won't keep bouncing from job to job.
Her theory is don't throw people away. There's something that they're going to be very successful at. Find out what it is, dig into them. Every person is valuable, and they all need someone to help them. So that's,
That is so cool. That felt like a ministry.
yeah, and that's my mother.
Really?
That's her. She doesn't meet anyone she doesn't love, and she just really realizes that everybody's got value. Everybody.
That's awesome. So 30-something years into this field, into this industry, looking back at it from this vantage point, what were some of the things that you have learned now that you wish you knew then?
Well, for sure, one of the things that back in the day, I can remember thinking, I thought, wow, this can never end. This is so awesome. This is, the best I could possibly ever do. But as time went on, you find out that the economy changes. We go through seasons. Nothing stays the same. And if you're up at the very top, be prepared to fall to the bottom. You always have to be planning. If you are at the bottom, no, you're not going to stay there. You're going to come back to the top. You have to have plans. You have to prepare for it. And, there's always a game plan in the works for fixing to be the end, or fixing to be the top. And so
that's so good, because that's reality.
It is reality. It is. And if you think that, I'm a business owner and my life is great, being a business owner is one of the hardest jobs you'll ever have. It's the hardest. It's like so much uncertainty, and you just have to keep your spirit and just not let it eat you alive. You just have to know that it's gonna be better, or you just got to be prepared. Always.
And that kind of leads me to my next question, which you have built a successful business in Tupelo as well as around the country with your name and reputation. And with that type of tenure, what would you say has been the key to the longevity?
Without a doubt, relationships with our customers, relationships with people who want to work for Snelling,
Okay.
and just knowing, always being a customer to your customer.
Being a
Because
customer to your customer.
that's right. Because I mean, every business changes, and it
They
just
do.
doesn't stay the same. And you need to know what's going on with it, what's about to happen, and how you can jump ahead of that. And we're business partners with people. We're not
Okay.
just staffing. I want to be somebody you can depend on in emergencies, or just long-term planning or whatever. We are business partners.
Okay.
We walk beside the HR departments, and we want to be preparing for when they run into disaster, that we can just step right in. And that's a good feeling to know that you have a safety net.
I bet.
It is. I mean, they love that in us.
Yeah.
They may not need us all the time, but they know that when the time does come, that we're silently right there ready.
Then that's a awesome from a business owner standpoint, because I'm just thinking, if we were large enough where we had 20 or 30 employees, or just 10 or 15, and one of my guys just came in and like, you know what, I'm moving, it's been great, this is
I
my
know.
last day,
I know.
I'm screwed.
It is the most sickening feeling, to wonder, what am I going to do? I mean, literally, business can't run without key people.
Yeah.
And when you hadn't been thinking about somebody's going to leave me, and you just think everybody's in place, and then all of a sudden they're not, you're panicked.
Yeah.
And
And you can make a panic higher.
yeah, they have to know along the way that if this does happen, all you got to do is make a phone call,
Okay.
and we're going to fix this for you.
Yeah. That just sounded good to hear. Just knowing, hey, call Rhonda.
That's right.
She's gonna fix it for you. So
Yes.
that's good to know. What were some of your biggest challenges along the way in your early days of getting started? It sounds like you've had some great success in the early days. What were some of your biggest challenges?
Just learning what the jobs were and how to make a right fit. Our theory is the right fit is everything. So just learning what the businesses did and what kind of employee they needed, and finding that right person for them. And then, knowing the peaks and valleys of manufacturing. They're not running at 100% all the time. Just being very educated on everything going on in that we can help ups and downs with.
Yeah. Okay. From your experience in dealing with these different companies from here in North Mississippi to all over the country, what have you noticed separate companies from those that are able to retain good employees and those that just don't?
Well, that is an excellent question, because things are different than they were back in our grandpa's days.
Okay.
I mean, they really are. People are looking for a company that cares about them, that
Okay.
invests in them, that trains them to be safe, trains them to learn the job well enough that they can be promoted. Money is always a factor, but
course.
there's more to it than that. Work-life balance. If I have to work overtime, will you please let me know 2 days ahead of time?
Okay.
We all have a life outside of work.
Yeah,
And so many people that work have children, and you can't just leave your child at the daycare till 9 o'clock at night. I mean, and so the people that respect their employees are going to have the best ones.
Okay, that was it. That was it right there. How have you seen the staffing landscape or the hiring landscape change over the past 10, 15 years?
It has. It seems like people are being screened more because, companies just are tired of, someone coming in, working 3 days and quitting.
Okay.
So they really want to spend more time, or they should spend more time personally interviewing and getting to know that person. And as I said before, not trying to throw them away,
Okay.
but trying to figure out where they could fit in their industry. If somebody wants to work and is willing to work and come and show up on time and be present, that means everything nowadays. that's the kind of employee that everybody's looking for. Now, maybe they don't have the skill, but they have the want to and the ability to get in their car, come to work at 7 o'clock, don't be late, do everything they're told to do, and just be there every day. And so that's what is hard to find right now.
Yeah. And I can speak to that as well, just because it was about 4 months ago where we had a pretty significant employer here in our area come and approach us, and they wanted us to produce a recruitment video. So we went and met with them and talked to them, and I wanted to see, because I know this company been around for a while. They're one of the, Toyota suppliers.
Yep.
And I wanted to see, what have you been using already? Because I wanted to see what wasn't working.
Right.
And once they showed it to me, I thought it was honestly a pretty decent, video. And then we started peeling back the layers to the onion and find out what the real issue was with the company. And I did not see that coming. What they explained to me was the fact that 50 to 60% of their most recent hires were 21 to 26 years old. And how the attitude of this group of young people was just so, whatever, and they could take it or leave it.
That's
kind
right.
of deal. They would show up for work. This is a manufacturing environment.
Right.
So they would show up with slides on. And I know I say slides, that's a young folks word. It was like sandals or flip flops.
I know.
And
You
I'm
can't do
like,
that.
how would you dare get in your car knowing you finna go to work and you got slides on? And he said that some of them, they'll work a good 2 or 3 weeks, and after they done got a check or two under their belt, they may or may not even show up. And I was like, I don't understand that. Don't they have bills, and some of them have kids? And I just didn't understand the mindset. And he was like, Miss Pegues, they're not like when you and I came up.
No,
where you took
not
a
at all.
job way more seriously. They could take it or leave it. And I'm sure you're seeing that. How
I
you
am
dealing with
seeing that. Well, we talk with them about this. You just think about it. Back in the older days of our grandpas and, our mom and dad, we didn't like our jobs either, but they stayed. I mean, there was such a thing as the gold watch, where you work 25, 30 years and, you get all these rewards, and you probably hated your job the whole time, but you stayed because that's just what you do. And now it's all about, I'm going to get 50 cents more, I'm quitting, or I don't like this, or it don't fit my my kid's schedule. And, we just can't seem to get a handle on why people are doing that. It ruins them. Their resume is important. You are a piece of paper, and that's all you are. And when you have worked 1 year at 5 different places, you're probably just going to work a year wherever that you're getting hired, if that much. And it's just ruining people of getting good jobs.
Yeah. So what are you seeing employers are looking for today beyond just being qualified for the position?
Well, they will be tolerant to not having the skills that needed to do their job if they find a person who, like I said before, will come to work, come on time.
Discipline.
Yes, someone who is really seriously wanting a job and wanting to work. They will take that person any day and mold and train them into what they need, rather than, hoping to just find somebody that walk in the street that will be what they're looking for.
Just a warm body.
Yeah, that is the warm body does nobody any good.
So what are you seeing like the common mistakes that job seekers make during the hiring process these days?
The number one thing I think is if you're going to get an interview, you need to research that company. You need to know something about it.
So good. That's smart.
You need to see, do I even want to do this? you
Just
know.
because they have an opening, once you find out what do they make there, and you know what, I'm going to be dealing with hot liquids or fluids or
Right.
chemicals every day. True enough, I'm going to have the proper PPE. I just don't want to be around that.
Yeah, I mean, do you think you have the skill for this? Can you do this for 8 hours a day? I mean, that, number one. And, just the other part of it is how you communicate. There is such a thing as looking somebody dead in the eye, shaking hands. That's still important, just like it was back in
Okay.
the old days.
Okay.
And, just listening to what the job description is and telling them how that they think they can fit in. That's important.
Yeah. So, okay, and I can see that because I just see so many young people that I run into, whether it's at the local grocery store or Walmart, and I get greeted with "bruh," and I'm like, I don't know. That just as soon as I hear that, it just hits me a certain way. Like, to you, I'm Mr. McGee's.
Yeah,
And how you just associate me or address me like one of your colleagues, and that if I was in a position where I was hiring, you would, and you might be awesome at camera work, but just because the way you approach me, because if I have a senior client that comes into the studio, I don't need you addressing them as bruh.
No. And another thing that people don't really understand that hurts more than anything is so many times all you do is just get to send your resume. You don't really see anybody. You just, here is an opening, send your resume, we're going to review it. And your email address tells so much about you. If it is a horrible email, that just turns people off.
For an example.
Oh gosh,
Give me an
please don't make me
example.
say it.
Okay, I'll give you one. So if I have a great young lady that's coming in for an interview, and she say send all information to juicylashes@hotmail.com.
That's right. You build an impression on that person, and that
Okay.
may not be true, but your email tells a different story. And also social media, if you're drunk at the bars and being arrested with the police, I mean, you have a trail behind you. Social media can be your friend or your enemy in job shopping.
So
Don't do it.
are you saying that a potential employer, along with the resume, also looks at that that applicant's social media activity?
I say they do. I feel like they do.
Would you?
I would.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you can tell me who you are, but let me find out who you really are. I think so. I mean, that's what it's there for. If you put it out there, people look.
They sure do.
And
sure
they just do.
They sure
So,
do.
you have to protect yourself, whether you are thinking about it or not. There's a lot of things that's on social media that could turn someone away from hiring you.
So be careful what you post, people. If you're in a position where you're in between jobs or looking for a new job, after you turn in that nice dressed up resume that you use AI to help you, really, dress up, people are going to go look at your social media. So if that's not aligning, yeah.
That's right.
Gotcha. So how can small businesses compete for qualified employees when you have, larger industries that may have a more attractive offer?
Well, I feel like that one of the most important things any company can do is to have a great reputation about how they treat their employees,
Okay.
and for people to want to work there. Some of the largest companies in town that pays the most does not necessarily mean it's the best job.
Okay.
So trust me, the word gets out on the street from people who leave. They tell the whole world how horrible that place is. But if you are a small employer and you just love your people, you want them to excel, you have you put training into them, you have company picnics, you feed them on Fridays, and you may not can pay the most, but you engage with them to make them feel that
Seen.
they're wanted and needed.
Yeah.
that's a great reputation on the street. So everybody's going to hear that and want to go work there.
Okay.
Versus, the $20 an hour job that is terrible.
And working you like a dog, and random overtime,
Right.
and those kind of things. When you can set yourself apart as a small business owner like myself, with having like some half a days on Fridays, or maybe even like you said, hey, we're going out to eat once a month
Right.
on the company, and just showing that we care.
Right.
That's what will separate my small business opening from a larger company who
Yep.
may can pay more, but the love may not be there.
That's right. That's right. That matters. Work-life balance and caring for a person and their family, just so that they can give you a really great day while they're at work, but yet give their family that too.
Yeah, because I can just think back, that would mean so much if I know my employer care. Yeah. So I want to turn the page and just ask you, along your journey, I know, with the highs come some lows. So how do you stay motivated, stay positive during some of the challenging times in your business? Maybe when things get slow and it's like, okay, this is the second week or this is the second month and we haven't gotten a lot of applicants. How do you stay motivated?
Well, you have to look at it for the long run. You have to look at the past and know that the trends are, as I've said before, what's up goes down. If you are just thinking this is never going to end, it's going to. But it also comes up. But in our business, we have to think about the people. We are making differences in people's lives by never stopping. I'm never stopping to look for companies who have needs, and what are they, and then the people that walk through our doors, what do you need, and making the fit between the two. You just never can stop that, because manufacturing and any kind of business in town cannot operate without employees, and employees cannot operate without a paycheck. So that's never going to stop. As low as low can be, or as high can be, in our day, that can never stop. So we just don't ever stop that process. We just keep it up.
Because those are some of the few denominators that will not change.
Will not change, and as long as you stay consistent and doing the same thing and doing a great job of it, you will always win.
Okay, good advice. That's a great perspective. So now I want to ask you about an opportunity just to get some advice as a female business owner in the world today. What would you say to another woman who is either wanting to start her own business or looking to grow her business?
Well, I know there is a lot of women and people in general who dream. And they say, what would I really love to do? And I feel like that if you come up with something that you have a real passion for, and you're good at it, and you can see the path in front of you, that the only way to lose is to not do it. Even if you
Is to not do
is
it.
to not do it. If you put everything you've got into it and you feel like you really know enough about it to make it successful.
So that means do your research, make sure you're prepared.
Right. And then just try, because, you're going to be 10 years from now saying, I think I had a really good idea and I just didn't do it. So the only way to lose is to not do it.
So make the leap.
Make the leap, try really hard, have good people around you, support from your family and friends. Know that your product is something somebody wants.
Yes.
It's just do your research and
Get started.
That's time's a wasting.
There you go. So, Rhonda, I see you in a lot of community events. Why is being visible and investing in your local community so important?
Well, small business is the heart of the world.
You're very right about that.
And small business just comes down to community and the town you're in. We all are here living together, working together, seeing each other outside of work, and there is nothing better and more successful in business than networking. That is the number one key to success in knowing lots of people, having them know what you do, knowing what they do, and everybody helping each other. And it's done in small town America.
Yeah, I agree. It's nothing like going to church with someone, or maybe going to the gym with someone, and you've been speaking and being next to this person for years, and to see them pop up one day, making a purchase of something that you provide, and they never even considered you for it. And when you go and approach them like, hey, where did who filmed your wedding, or who took those photos of your daughter that I saw on Facebook? And they said, oh, so-and-so did it. And it's like, I would have loved to have done that for you. And they said, I didn't know you did that.
That's right. So there is no telling how many people that we go to functions with, and we say hi, and we walk around, and we leave.
And
you never get inside somebody and know who they are.
Yeah, connection.
Yeah, no connection. And it is about relationship. The whole success of any kind of business and friendship and growth comes from relationships. So, I always try to make it a point to say, this month I'm going to find 10 people that I'm going to become new friends with. I love it. I love people. And it's amazing at how many awesome people are in my life because I met them. And I may not see them, every week or month or whatever, but when I do, it's like back when you were in high school and you meet your senior class. It's love there. It's love.
Energy.
It's just everybody's really unique.
Oh, yeah.
Every person is so unique, and you are benefiting yourself to find 10 friends a month or more that you can have as just new relationships.
That's a great goal, especially as an entrepreneur. Every month, find 5, 10 new people. They don't have to be your intimate friends, but just 10 new connections that you've made. And who knows, it starts with the introduction. It starts with connection. And depending on the relationship, you may have 1 or 2 that eventually grow to be a personal friend.
Very, very much. And from friendships turns into connections, either doing business together or connecting you to someone that will do business. And you can't advance just staying in the closet, staying at home, afraid to get out of your car. You got to make it happen.
You got to make it happen.
Yeah.
I love that. That's the entrepreneur spirit. Get out there and make it happen. Rhonda, what is the impact that you would like for your company, Snelling Staffing, to continue to have in this community?
To be dependent upon, everybody's just walking around in life and everything's great, and then all of a sudden it's not. And I would want people to say, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to call Snelling and I know they'll help me.
Oh, okay.
I want to be that resource, and to know that with 29 years in Tupelo, I've got some connections and I've got some ability to help you. Okay. And my team, it's not me, it's our whole team.
Yeah.
And they're very senior. I mean, my people have been with me for 20 years or more.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a big difference too, because it's almost like I got a bunch of little Rhonda clones, They just I can be gone and they can make decisions the same way I would.
Do?
Yeah, they know what I would do and how I would handle it. Because again, I go back to my mom. My business has to be run the way that she wants it run, with caring for people and doing things the right way, and not being underhanded and mistreating people, or just not being a nice person. That's what we are. We are going to love you and take care of companies and people.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so Rhonda, what is the number one reason people fail job interviews from your experience?
Not being on time, not showing up, and just not being prepared and acting like they don't care. You know, you've got to give a good impression. You've got to make someone believe you that you will, take the job serious. And if you don't know, a lot about the job, you're willing to learn, and you want to grow with the company, and you want a career instead of a job.
Okay, and it's a difference.
It's a big difference. A big difference.
Yeah. So from your experience and your communication and relationship with many different employers, not just in North Mississippi, but across the United States, what are you seeing is a trait that every employer wants in an employee?
Well, they want them to follow their rules, and that would be, here is our hours. We would like to see you come in 5 or 10 minutes before time and, get yourself situated so that you're ready to go to work. And we want you to stay on the job for 8 hours and not be, continuously 2 times a week needing to take grandma to the doctor or kids or got to go to court or, all the things. Be involved with your job and stay with it. And so many people just seem like they want their personal life first and then the job is just second. And
that's no good.
Employers want it right the opposite. They want you to put your job first and figure out a way to handle your outside business after hours.
Yeah, good stuff. What are you seeing is one of the biggest hiring mistakes that companies are making these days?
Well, remember when we said a while ago when, somebody just all of a sudden quits and you're feeling panicked and you just grab somebody?
Yeah.
That's the wrong thing to do. Don't just grab somebody.
I need a warm body because the whole assembly line is going to stop because I got a missing piece here.
Yeah. And that's what you want to do. You tend to do that. So, it's just a natural thing to do. But that is so wrong. It's just not, if all the pieces don't work together and you've got a weak link, then you might as well not even made that position.
You know what? That's a great point because that whole chain is only as strong as that weakest link.
That's right.
And now you just went and subbed out a link with this person so that the assembly line can continue, but give it a little time and that weakest link is going to show up, isn't it?
It is. And it'd be better to just work with what you have with that person missing than to put the wrong person in.
So speaking of the right person, what separates a successful employee from just an average one? You kind of mentioned some things.
Oh, well, just someone who really wants a job and needs to feed their family and wants to, advance their career. That's what is the most important.
So I'm gonna finish up with a few business fast track questions. What advice would you give someone that, and I think I kind of asked this already, but what advice would you give someone that's afraid to start their own business?
Fear never gets you anywhere. Just know that I'm afraid, but I'm still going to do it.
There you go. I'm afraid, but I'm still going to do it. I like that. So as an entrepreneur, what has been the best advice that you've been given as far as your business? What's the best advice you've been given?
I think the best advice is consistency. We just keep doing what worked and never stop. Consistency.
Okay. Good stuff. And what's the worst advice that you've been given as a business owner?
Wow, you're doing great and you'll always do great.
Watch that one.
Yeah, watch that one. Boy, this will never end. You've got a customer and they are spending so much money with you and they always will. That's not the case.
Yeah. Good stuff. Rhonda, how can our viewers, if there's an employer that's watching this and have an opening and they need to fill it, how can they connect with you?
Well, the best way would just be to give our office a call.
Okay. What's the contact number?
And that would just be, of course, 662-842-1045.
Okay. And we'll put that on the screen.
Had that number for 29 years.
Awesome. A consistent contact number for 29 years. You can't go wrong with that
Nope.
one. And do you prefer people call, email, or foot traffic to show up?
Well, we love foot traffic, but I love for people to call because when they do, we talk to them and we find out a lot about them and their emergency situations and just things about people. So, but we love for people to come in too. It's the same difference, but come in to our door or either call us and we'll get an appointment. And, and then another thing too, you really can't get a job now without a resume. So if you don't have a good resume, we do resumes. So, that's something we offer.
Okay, which is help people just create their resumes.
Right.
Okay.
Most everybody has a resume, but they're like bad. And you are just a piece of paper. When people look at you, they only see what you have on that paper. They can see nothing else. So, you've got to present a resume that speaks in a way that they want to call you in or call you on the phone. So, that's another service that we do.
And that's a good one because some people could, they've been on their job for 20 years and been let go. And a resume is like, whoa, where do I start? So to know that I can come to the staffing agency who can help me find a position, but you know what? We need to dust off this resume first.
True. And then the ones that are doing resumes through AI, please don't put a list this big of skills you do because that turns people off. AI automatically creates probably 30, 40 skills. Like good listener and just dumb stuff. And it's automatic that you didn't write that.
Okay.
So,
or at least you stretching, you reaching for
leave
stuff.
AI out of this and get down to being a human.
Okay.
And do a resume.
Yeah.
And then we'll tweak the rest of it. We'll help you.
Call Snell and staff and leave AI off
leave
the resume.
Leave it off. You are ruining yourself doing that.
What's your website, Rhonda?
Just www.snellen/Tupelo.
Okay. Well, you've heard it here, ladies and gentlemen, from the veteran lady who has been putting people to work all over the country for the past 30 years. If you have an opportunity where you are hiring and need to fill a position, I recommend you give Miss Rhonda Cressman a call at Snell and Staffing. We have her website and contact number on the screen. Rhonda, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to come and speak with us today. It was very insightful. I learned a lot. I hope my viewers learned a lot. And I just want to thank you for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed this.
Yes, ma'am. Until next time, be blessed.